You would think a team chasing the NFL's first ever three-peat and boasting a 13-1 record would be the runaway Super Bowl favorite, right? Well, think again. Despite their insane record and recent dominance, the cracks in the Kansas City Chiefs' armor are glaring. From Patrick Mahomes' second worst season to date, lucky wins papering over deficiencies, and an offense losing its identity, this isn't the juggernaut we've come to know. Instead, it's a dynasty teetering on collapse. Here's why the Chiefs' reign might be nearing its end. Let's start with Patrick Mahomes. While his name still commands respect, especially to Tony Romo and Chris Collinsworth, his performance this season does not match the hype. Through 14 games, he's thrown for 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, and a whopping 11 interceptions. That's on track for his second most interceptions, second lowest passing yards and touchdowns, and his worst QBR across his entire career. Despite these stats, no one seems to talk about his struggles. He remains largely untouchable in the public eye, but you could seriously argue he's playing like an average starting quarterback right now, unlike the player he used to be. Even with his down season, the Chiefs continue to be perceived as a dominant force, sporting a previously mentioned 13-1 record. However, even their record is fraudulent. They've been squeaking by in games that used to be blowouts. Take their 19-17 win over the Raiders, for example. That game came down to the final play, with the Chiefs up by just 2 points and the Raiders at the Chiefs' 32. All they had to do was run the ball for 3 to 4 yards and pray their kicker could make a 40-yard field goal until
and flawlessly moves this offense into field goal range.
It would be a 50-yard field goal from here. Drops it. Flag is thrown though.
an improbable win against their division's bottom feeder. Another lucky escape came in their 16-14 win over the Denver Broncos. With just seconds on the clock, the Broncos had a chance to win the game with a measly 35-yard field goal attempt to win the game.
Fraboni the snap, Riley the hold, Lutz the kick to win it.
That miss handed the Chiefs another win in a game that was much closer than it should have been. These wins do not scream dynasty, they scream luck, and when you rely on that to secure victories, it raises serious questions about how dominant your team really is. The Chiefs' offense, once a terrifying force, is now painfully ordinary. Travis Kelce, the lifeblood of this unit, is showing signs of decline at 34. Sure, he's good, but he's not great like he used to be. Then there's a devastating injury to Rashee Rice, leaving the Chiefs' already shallow receiving core in tatters. Without Rice, the Chiefs force rookie receiver Xavier Worthy into the wide receiver 1 role, giving Mahomes just 2 targets and an aged O-line, who is also past its prime. The result? The Chiefs' offense is averaging just 336 yards per game, 14th in the league. They've gone from record-breaking to perfectly average in just 3 seasons. And when the passing game falters, their underwhelming run game can't pick up the slack. For a team that's supposed to be dominant, this is a glaring weakness. Without a reliable second or third option, defenses are focusing all their attention on Kelce, making it harder for Mahomes to get into a groove. And this is one of the main reasons his performance has dropped. When Mahomes isn't clicking, this offense looks stagnant, and the lack of offensive weapons has contributed to the Chiefs' struggles to put away teams with ease. As the Chiefs' core players age, the challenge of sustaining their dynasty grows harder by the year. Drafting once a cornerstone of their success has become a mixed bag. While late-round gems like Isaiah Pacheco have exceeded expectations, the team has also had its share of costly misses. Lucas Niang, a third-round pick, was supposed to be the anchor of this offensive line, but you guys probably never heard of him. And on defense, the failed selection of Breeland Speaks, a second-round pick who was out of the league in just 2 years, left a glaring hole in their pass rush. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a first-round pick meant to elevate this offense, is now a backup to the backup. These early draft busts, along with the massive contracts for stars like Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Joe Thuney, leave little flexibility to add proven talent. Instead, the Chiefs are forced to rely on unproven players to replace these veterans, a strategy that hasn't paid off very consistently. And for a dynasty to thrive, teams must seamlessly transition from one generation of stars to the next. And right now, the Chiefs are struggling to make that leap, and the cracks are starting to show. So is this the end of the Chiefs dynasty? The signs are definitely there. Mahomes is no longer the invincible playmaker he once was, at least not with this offense, and their wins are more about luck than actual dominance like it was 4 years ago. And their offense, once the envy of the league, has become average at best. As the core of their championship roster age out of their primes, the Chiefs face a bleak reality. Without major reinforcements, the dynasty we've marveled at for the past 5 years may already be over. For Kansas City, this season could end very early in the playoffs, feeling more like a rotten farewell tour, making me think this dynasty is over. But more importantly, what do you think? Make sure you comment down below your opinions and like and subscribe if you want to. That's the rundown.